We continue to follow developing news in Springfield, where MGM Springfield is cutting 1,000 jobs, part of the 18,000 MGM layoffs nationwide. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here for Western Mass News at 6. I'm Jordyn Jagolinzer. Chris Pisano is off tonight. This news comes as the city of Springfield marked the casino's 2-year anniversary this past Monday. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis joins us live in Springfield with more information. Leon?
Jordyn, unfortunately, the layoffs come at MGM Springfield as businesses everywhere struggle to stay afloat during the coronavirus pandemic.
My first obligation, obviously, is to the workers there, and many are Springfield residents, so we want to make sure that this hopefully stays temporary.
Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno weighing in on the 1,000 jobs cut at MGM Springfield, a consequence of the ongoing pandemic. In a letter, parent company president and CEO Bill Hornbuckle told employees on Friday that, regrettably, August 31st marks the date of separation for thousands of MGM Resort employees whom we have not yet been able to bring back. This news comes as MGM Springfield marks its 2-year anniversary this week. The Springfield Casino employing about 2,000 people pre-coronavirus. But on March 15th, MGM Springfield closed down as COVID-19 began to sweep through the state. By May, MGM Springfield reported 1,900 workers who had been furloughed or temporarily laid off. Reopening on July 13th with reduced capacity and strict guidelines, 700 employees were brought back to work. Now 1,000 local employees hoping to return to work have now learned they're being separated from the company on Monday. MGM Springfield President Chief Operating Officer Chris Kelly sending this message to employees. While I understand this is difficult to hear, I want you to know that as we progress through our phased reopening, team members separated today will remain on our recall list. And hopeful for rehirings, he says, team members who return to work before December 31st, 2021 will retain their seniority and immediately resume their benefits. Mayor Sarno is hoping for a return to normal, too.
This is surreal and extraordinary times on it, and I look forward to once we defeat this COVID-19 and MGM's commitment, and we're speaking to them that we get them back on their feet and get the workers back at MGM.
MGM Springfield has also extended health benefits for laid-off workers until September 30th. Live in Springfield, Leon Purvis, Western Mass News.
Leon, thanks. And here's a look at today's number of COVID-19 cases. So far, the state reports 438 new cases for a total number of 117,888 in the Bay State. There are sadly 16 more deaths to report today. The statewide death toll now stands at 8,791. A growing group of parents are already pushing back against the state's flu vaccine mandate, requiring all children 6 months and older get vaccinated if they attend a daycare, school, or college in Massachusetts. The mandate allows for some exemptions, but now one local school district could challenge that. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live with more. Audrey?
A member of the Southampton School Committee raised the possibility of possibly disallowing families from claiming they have a religious exemption against the flu vaccine mandate. As the academic year begins running concurrently with the COVID-19 pandemic, school leaders in Southampton are looking at how students are vaccinated against influenza. At an August 26th meeting of the William E. Norris School Committee, a member raised the idea of eliminating religious exemptions to the state's flu vaccine mandate. The mandate requires children over the age of 6 months get the flu shot if they attend daycare, school, or college in Massachusetts. The deadline to get the shot is December 31st, but the text of the mandate allows exemptions for religious and medical reasons. John Lumbra, a member of the school committee, declined an interview, but said in a statement to Western Mass News, quote, "At this time, the committee is merely asking the legal counsel what our requirements are and what, if anything, we as a district need to do. I would anticipate hearing back from legal counsel by our next meeting on September 9th.
How does a local school board even think they can possibly disallow that religious exemption?
Heather Pellegrini has 4 children who went through the Southampton school. She feels the school committee does not have the authority to remove a family's religious right to refuse the flu shot.
Children will be kicked out of school. That's a fact. Why are they not looking out for everyone?
Now, there is a planned protest for those who do not agree with the flu shot mandate. It's going to be held at the State House this Sunday, organized by those who oppose it. So far, 1,300 people have marked themselves as planning to attend that protest. Now, we've reached out to state health officials to see if there is any legal ability for a school committee to take away a religious exemption to the flu vaccine mandate. Reporting live, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thanks for that live report. Concerns about domestic violence and child abuse are among the issues that Western Mass News has followed since the beginning of the pandemic. And after 6 months of isolation and social distancing, cases are on the rise. Western Mass News reporter Sabrina Riley spoke to the Gandara Center to get advice for those struggling behind closed doors.
While health officials say social distancing is the best option to stop the spread of COVID-19, it's brought challenges for women and children in abusive situations.
It is putting people who already were at risk for domestic violence to be in situations where it's gotten either worse or it's just about the same. There has been a huge increase in people who were typically not necessarily in that situation to express themselves in that way.
Gandara Center clinician Christine Rodriguez-Perez tells Western Mass News that over the last 6 months, issues of domestic violence have increased, and they fear it could be worse than what they know.
Just because we're not necessarily getting the statistics on a daily basis doesn't necessarily mean that there really isn't.
Seeing as everyone is cooped up inside with limited interactions, reporting problems can be difficult, especially for children.
Not getting children being exposed to caretakers or other people who tend to be the ones to make those reports. And so that has been the primary issue, because anyone who has an interaction as far as a caregiving role is going to be a mandated reporter. And so when mandated reporters are not able to perform their job as we normally do, then we start missing those children that could be potentially putting at risk.
With many children continuing remote learning this fall, they say it's important for teachers to look for signs of abuse in their Zoom interactions.
They're going to make sure that all of the kids have their cameras on, for example, and it's going to start in a specific hour. And so they're going to be able to see a lot of what I was mentioning before about, looking into where the child's environment is. Even if you're only seeing a small space of their home, it's something that we can take note of.
For Western Mass News, I'm Sabrina Riley.
And for more coverage on the coronavirus emergency as it continues to develop, log on to our free streaming Western Mass News app. New tonight out of Westfield, a former YMCA employee was arraigned on multiple charges this afternoon for allegedly recording female staffers with his cell phone while they were dressing. 20-year-old James McCauley is facing 15 charges that include photographing an unsuspecting person without consent and possession of child pornography. McCauley was arrested yesterday and released today on $10,000 personal surety. His pretrial hearing is scheduled for October 19th of this year. The Westfield YMCA said they are grateful for the Westfield Police Department's investigation. In a statement to Western Mass News, they say in part, quote, "We have already begun to thoroughly and carefully evaluate our facilities to better ensure the safety and privacy of all of our staff and campers. We are also reviewing our hiring and training policies to ensure that all staff are united around our culture of safety. We are also reviewing our hiring and training policies to ensure all staff are united around our culture of safety."
Well, if you don't have plans this evening, I definitely suggest a dinner al fresco or maybe a evening walk or hike. We're going to remain completely dry. A lot of sunshine still in place. Our sunset's now about 7:30 or so. Satellite radar scanning dry. All of southern New England have been dry today. Still doing a little cleanup efforts as you go into Connecticut. They're going to be picking up the pieces over the weekend as well with that strong weather that we had yesterday. Temperatures are now in the upper 70s, 75 in Worcester and 82 degrees in Hartford, 73 in Pittsfield. But look at this. You can't complain about a look like this. Lots of blue skies and some cirrus clouds building on in. I think a decent sunset underway as we go towards that 7:30 half hour. Give us a picture and we'll try to share it a little bit later. 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, though, we will have some showers that roll through. This is going to be the precursor to the main event that arrives into the afternoon and into the evening. We do expect the strong line of storms to move through, especially into the overnight hours. We'll call it like 8, 9, 10 o'clock before we finally start to clear out heading into Sunday. So 60 for an overnight low, maybe a couple of sunrise showers or just beyond, but the main event arrives into the afternoon and evening, 78 for an afternoon high. We'll watch those thunderstorms for the potential of some severe weather too. We'll break that down, look at Tropical Depression Laura in just a few minutes. Jordyn, back to you.
Jacob, thanks. And don't forget, tomorrow is the first day of tax-free weekend. Sounds like a good day to go shopping. Big ticket items up to $2,500 will be exempt from sales tax on Saturday and Sunday. The Retailers Association of Massachusetts is urging people to shop local this year, seeing as more than 80% of its members say their sales are down substantially. For tips on how to take advantage of the tax-free weekend, you can visit our website, westernmassnews.com.